Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Something about a
Virtual boy.
Nothing's happening. It's over. A lot of people in the audience look pissed.
Frittata!
So, guess who had the grand privilege of sitting down through the entirety of the Nintendo Direct at 6 in the goddamn morning? I'll give you a hint. He's Mexican, and he has a popsicle stick. And no, this one is not covered in crema con fresas. That's right, the guy you successfully gave over 500 subs last video. So, if we can keep that ball rolling, so when I get to 110,000, I can play you La Cucaracha on camera, that'd be great. Although, there's a new request. Ever since I did the Pokemon Pow World Gotta Catch 'em All rap, people want me to do a full extended version. So, Cativa, Foxicle, Pangolin 2, looks like Pikachu just filed lawsuit. Grizzbolt, Jolthog, Spark its glare. Is that Luxray or litigation in the air? Gotta sue 'em all. Gotta sue 'em all. If you want that full extended version instead, well, you know what to do. Smash the subscribe button. Get us to 110k subs. As a matter of fact, get us to 200k subs. Because if you're tired of seeing the average content creator going all soy face when they're watching these Nintendo Directs and then faking their excitement, pretending to care, then you've tuned into the right channel, because we don't do that shit here. Yes, I fully intended to watch the Nintendo Direct expecting nothing. And that's the problem. I wanted to be surprised, be proven wrong. But for Nintendo's supposed 40th year anniversary of Super Mario Bros., that was complete ass. This Nintendo Direct showed the extent of Nintendo's greediness. Well, actually, I don't know why I say the extent. I feel there is no limit to that. I feel as if the more this goes on, the more cartoonishly greedy Nintendo is going to get. And the more their fan base is going to excuse it, because I've talked to multiple people who did not like anything they saw, but guess what? They're still gonna buy all of it. So, what do we accomplish? Nothing. Either way, I don't want to waste your time ranting about Nintendo fanboys and whatnot, no matter how much you guys enjoy it. You see, we got plenty of other videos for that. Instead, we're gonna go over everything wrong with that Nintendo Direct. For starters, I'll say, can we stop having these things at 6 in the morning Pacific time? It's all pre-recorded. It's not like any of it is shot or filmed live in the moment. I don't even know why it's streamed, for that matter. Streaming a pre-recorded quote-unquote event like this just doesn't make sense, but whatever. I guess it gives the rest of the world something to do for an hour. So the whole thing started off with what was easily the worst 40th year anniversary for Mario possible. Not that I really care about Mario that much. I don't understand. I mean, look, after like 50 million games, I feel a little bit of the Italian plumber fatigue. You could show me the greatest Mario game in existence next, and I still wouldn't give two shits. But unfortunately, that's not what Nintendo did. See, people tuned into this thing for video games, and the first thing that they want to open up is with their Mario-themed thingy in Florida. And then, of course, what everybody wants, a movie announcement at a video game direct. I know a lot of grown-ass adults really love the Mario movie. Personally, I find the sense of humor cringe, but in general, yeah, it's a kid's movie. I'm not gonna knock it. It just doesn't belong here. I just don't know why we're wasting a time slot on this. It's a Super Mario Galaxy movie, but we don't even see the galaxy, because it's just a teaser. But I figured as soon as they showed this teaser for a Super Mario Galaxy movie, I knew exactly what that meant. They're gonna re-release Mario Galaxy games, aren't they? And lo and behold, was I right! Mario Galaxy 1 and 2! That's right, if you bought Mario Galaxy and the Super Mario All-Stars bundle for the Switch, you got ripped off. They told you it was a limited run, then a few years later, now they're actually selling you Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, separate, on their own, for you to be able to buy on the eShop. Except it comes with a catch. You know, everything Nintendo tied comes with a catch. What's that catch? 40 bucks a piece. 40 bucks. Silk Song's $20 fucking dollars. And it's quite possibly the best game this year. Well, the best game this year is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but some would digress. You know, I've come to the conclusion that Nintendo doesn't have as much content as people think. They just slice it all up and re-release it slowly to give you the illusion that they're releasing something, but this is a game you've been able to emulate for almost 20 years now. And they want 40 bucks for each one. Suck a dick, Nintendo. And of course, per usual, with the re-release of an ancient-ass game comes Nintendo's reasoning for releasing new Amiibos. Let's be real, these are toys, okay? Toys for grown-ass adults who will buy them. Woohoo! Isn't that great? More plastic for you to put on your shelf. Thank you, Nintendo. Oh, so giving. What other company thinks of its consumers this much? No other company thinks about how many products they can sell to the consumer to put on their shelves to showcase how much they consume. Fantastic. No, but of course you want your viewers and all one of your friends that come over to your house to be able to see how much you consume. So they're also selling you Rosalina's storybook. Yeah, you can buy this gay ass shit for 25 bucks. Isn't that wonderful? See, not only do they want to sell you the game for 40, but they also want to sell you little toys and a little storybook. And before you know it, the average Nintendo purchase goes from being what should be $20 to at least nearly $100. Because that's how Nintendo gets these losers. These are collector's items. They hold so much intrinsic value to the consumer. Shut the fuck up. Next, they show an actual new Mario game. Well, I'll say new in quotes because we've had Mario Tennis before, but here's a new one. What can I say? I mean, the Mario sports games are good. If there's one thing Nintendo gets right, is making sports games fun. So there's not really much for me to knock here. I mean, I still think it's gay, but... Fuck, there goes my phone. I still think it's gay, but at the very least, it's a new Mario product for the 40-year anniversary. May not be a standalone Mario project, but it's either this or nothing at all. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a Nintendo Direct without re-releases, like nearly every single company, but of course, Nintendo is the king of re-releases, so you're getting Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 Edition! Isn't that great? The one Mario game where you turn into an elephant. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, at this point, they're gonna run out of things for Mario to turn into. My favorite gimmick so far, though, is the hardcore copyright abuser. That's gotta be Mario's best transformation yet. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a proper re-release without Nintendo throwing in yet another stupid gay-ass toy to go along with it. Except this time, it's a talking flower. You know how many Nintendo YouTubers I know are gonna have that sitting front and center on their desk for their videos where they're soy jacking the fuck out? Well, what's there more to say? It's the same game released again, which is the average Nintendo consumer's favorite thing to purchase. But now, if you are wondering why Super Mario Bros. Wonder wasn't enhanced by default for the Switch 2 at launch, now you know. Now, I know if you're a sane person, you're looking at that and you're saying that is a clear ripoff, but Nintendo guys are looking at that and saying, oh my god, Koopa Links! Ah! Next, I'm gonna move on to the only W of the morning, because, well, it's my own personal W, and that is a brand new Fire Emblem game. Okay, if there's anything about the Switch library that I did like, other than Mario Rabbids, surprisingly, it was Fire Emblem 3 Houses, which was my gateway into this franchise since I've emulated a lot of the titles. After that, I gotta say, I have stated several times there's not much that could catch my attention other than a new Fire Emblem game, and well, here it is. Now, hopefully this one doesn't run at 20 FPS like Fire Emblem 3 Houses, but when it comes to these games, it's all about the combat, and they are some of my favorite strategy games ever made. And the only reason I'm listing it this early and not in the precise order it was revealed is because this is the most excitement you're gonna get out of me. Unfortunately, I'm not quite as good at faking my excitement as RGT85. Then we move on to what tricked me at first. See, I was looking at that and I thought, oh my god, they did it. They made Metroid Kart. It's finally happening. Then I quickly find out, no, that's actually how you traverse in the brand new Metroid Prime 4. Not sure how I feel about it. It seems like there's going to be some kind of open world type of gameplay here, which seems, you know, to go against the whole aspect of Metroidvania style gameplay, but it could be good. It looks a little generic. Giving Samus a bike I'm not against, but I don't really know if it's a selling point for me. And I don't want to sound like a graphics snob. I really don't, but I truly believe Metroid deserves a lot better than this. The game is looking rough. Just awful low textures. I understand that this is originally a Switch 1 game, but I don't think that's an excuse. I really feel like they kind of rushed Metroid Prime 4 because it's been scrapped several times. And this final version has to be released. There's no going back. And as a result, it just doesn't look like they gave Metroid the proper treatment it deserves from a visual standpoint. I mean, the art direction, fine, but come on. I mean, you guys can do better than this for Samus. And I'm not the only one, because the comment section on the reveal of this was mentioning how it looks like this demo was built the night before just for the Direct. It's almost like the same reveal we got for Halo Infinite. Everybody was saying, what the fuck is that? That is what you give Master Chief? And that's my exact reaction. This is what you give Samus? At times, certain things don't even look like they're properly being rendered. It's inexcusably bad, even for the Nintendo Switch. Nothing I've seen about this game gives me any sort of confidence. It genuinely looks like ass. And that hurts to say because I like Metroid. I really do. And you can tell Nintendo's reluctant as well, because that's the most amount of time they were willing to give it at this Direct. I know people say graphics don't matter, but there was a time long ago where Metroid was a graphics showcase. Remember Metroid Prime 1? That was impressive for its time. This right here, this would impress you maybe in 2007. I don't get what's wrong with Nintendo. This is Metroid Prime 4. People have been waiting so fucking long for this. And Nintendo just doesn't seem to care to give this franchise a proper budget. The game is not looking promising, and that's a huge concern for Metroid fans. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the new Amiibos that they're going to release for this game look of higher quality than the in-game models themselves. We also then got to look at the new Yoshi game that's coming out. For some reason, this took a spot during the Mario 40-year anniversary. What's there to say? It's a new Yoshi game, unique art style. It essentially looks like a Yoshi's Island, but without a baby Mario. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just, I'm so uninterested, I don't even want to roast it. The game is so uninteresting, I don't even have the energy to shit on it. Think about that. Then we gotta look at an upcoming brand new roguelike game, because we don't have enough of those. Storm Lancers. Honestly, doesn't look bad at all. Seems like it would be fun with friends. And this would have been fun if it released like 10 years ago when roguelites were at their height. But it's Nintendo. You have to understand that they're always about 10 years behind on what's popular. Honestly, it could be fun. I don't even want to shit on it, because in order for me to shit on something, I have to care. And I just don't care. Then Nintendo wastes our time with Dinkum. Yet another game that's heavily inspired by the same blocky crafting, building, open worldness / crafting survival that Minecraft has cursed the gaming industry with for all of eternity. At this point, if you play one of these types of games, you've played them all. I don't understand their existence. I feel their low polygon, low graphics aesthetic and the simplicity of blocks is supposed to represent the brains of the types of people that buy this crap. Then we look at Popucom. Do you really want me to waste my breath with this one? A cheesy puzzle game that you can play with friends. I'm sure all 8 people will enjoy this one. Then of course, Nintendo has to quickly be reminded that Miis exist and they have to give them a purpose other than Smash Bros. So you get a new Tomodachi Life game. Woohoo! Isn't that great? Animal Crossing, but with Miis. Sadly, I know like 1 or 2 adults that like this, and they're watching my videos, so shame. Shame on you. But I love you. Thank you, Nintendo. I have to be up at 6 a.m. so I can watch this crap. It's exactly what a grown-up wants to do. Wake up at 6 in the morning to watch a trailer for Tomodachi Life. My god, kill me now. Then you get a Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Collection spelled with K because it's so adorable. I mean, whatever. Mortal Kombat's cool, but I think I've been playing Mortal Kombat for longer than I've been using the internet. So, no, I'm not amazed. No, I'm not gonna soy jack out for this. Then we get a trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, as if we didn't already know this was coming to the Switch too. So for some reason it's here to eat up time and waste your day, like the world didn't know this was going to happen. Thank you, Nintendo. Then we get a look at Linked Banner of Spark, and who cares? No, seriously, who cares? Not me. But if the kids need something to play, this looks fine. I mean, that seems to be who it's primarily aimed for. Then we get Hades 2 trailer. Of course, Hades is an excellent franchise. No one's gonna deny that, but you're not breaking any new grounds here. Showing a game that we expected to be on this device anyway. Of course, then it wouldn't be a Nintendo Direct without more Amiibos, and this one's for Kirby Air Riders. Honestly, I really don't know how Nintendo fans can buy every single Amiibo shown to them at a Direct and not directly put their family out on the streets because of it. Really does feel like at this point they spent more time showing you movies and toys and collectibles than they've shown you games. But it's all a part of the money machine. You know, Nintendo fans just keep pumping this company up with grossing profits by buying these little pieces of plastic that take up time slots at a gaming event that I didn't want to be up at 6 in the morning for. Then, for some odd reason, Nintendo wastes your time showing you Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment, yet again. Like we didn't know this was coming out. This is what we call padding. They were padding this hour-long event. You really think Nintendo fans need to be reminded this comes out? Nintendo fans remember from day one. These guys have not been able to let go of Mario since the day they were born, so I don't know why you gotta give them reruns of the same fucking ads we've seen over and over. And then we get a look at a remake of a remake. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Now, I don't know why they say reimagined, because it was already reimagined for the 3DS. I did have that version at one point, and I did beat it. Quite enjoyed it. Not sure why we need it remade again. I know they're gonna remake a bunch of Dragon Quest games, but I just don't even know who are the people that ask for this. Maybe, you know, the creator to Hunter x Hunter, Togashi, he would buy this up, but I just don't see the point. It goes to the best part, as you may all have heard the news. See, the Virtual Boy, Nintendo's greatest failure to this day, was such a colossal flop that they're still trying to make their money back from it over 30 years later. The Virtual Boy was one of the first attempts at bringing virtual reality to the household. And as you may know, it was a terrible idea that failed miserably. The only positive thing anybody has to say is the Wario game on it was good or whatnot. Well, anyway, for some reason, even though people keep asking Nintendo for more GameCube and more N64 games and more Game Boy Advance titles or DS titles, Nintendo said, we'll do you one better. We're bringing back the Virtual Boy. Yeah, we know nobody asked for this, but guys, we're really trying to make our money back on this. It set us back over 30 years ago. And we know how much you guys love the novelty of our cheap Chinese plastic. So alongside Virtual Boy titles, they want to resell you the Virtual Boy headset that you slide your Switch tablet into to mimic what it's like to have VR at home instead of buying a real VR headset like a grown-ass adult. Embarrassing. Simply embarrassing. And $100. They want $100 for Chinese plastic made by child labor in China. I'm not even kidding you. They are literally just trying to resell you the Virtual Boy. Nintendo has lost it. Well, they haven't lost it. I mean, they figured it out better than anyone else. If there's any company that knows their fan base more than anyone else, it's Nintendo. They know exactly the nerds that are gonna buy this. So you get to relive what was one of the greatest console failures of all time in 2025 all over again. But guess what? It gets better. See, if 100 is too rich for your blood, Nintendo has thought of people like you. There is a cardboard version. They've got a cardboard version for people like you. Remember the Nintendo Labo? Remember how Nintendo couldn't afford to make real VR? So they sold you cardboard that you could fold into a VR headset? Yeah, they did that with the Virtual Boy. There's the poverty version, and there's the slightly above poverty version. And you get to own all of it, which we know all major Nintendo YouTubers are gonna do. All Nintendo YouTubers are going to buy every single thing we saw at this Nintendo Direct, because it's a great tax write-off. And they get to keep the toys at home. You know, that thing is for little Timmy.
Oh, shut up. It's rated E for everyone. Soon to be rated D for diabetics.
This company is out of their fucking minds. They are on crack. There's no other explanation. Nintendo is on crack. The funny part is, with today's technology, you know people are just going to be able to 3D print these things. And yet, in spite of that, people still want to hand Nintendo $100 fucking dollars. Never mind the cardboard version. I spent too much time ranting about this. Nintendo's greed is just insane. They are the Mr. Krabs of the gaming industry. Then we get a look at Fatal Frame Rate 2. Fatal Frame 2. Oh, is that? It's not actually a real sequel. It's a remake of a sequel. Okay, well, you know, it is a Nintendo Direct. If there were no remakes, we would have a total of like 5 games here. So if you're into horror games with terrible English dubbing, well, this is right up your alley. Then we get told the Switch 2 is getting Pirate Warriors 4. Nothing to say there. Okay, everybody has this game. Then comes an announcement for Overcooked 2, Switch 2 edition. Nothing to say about this one either. I feel like Nintendo's Virtual Boy greed just kind of zapped all of my ranting aura away. And then a Stardew Valley Switch 2 edition? I'm actually quite surprised that this doesn't just have a Switch 2 version by default. Then we get shown Human Fall Flat, Switch 2 version, Power Wash Simulator 2, Switch 2 version, Suka, Game Planet, Switch 1 and 2. Then we get told that finally, after like 2 months of being out, Donkey Kong Bonanza mysteriously has DLC out of nowhere. I'm kidding. Obviously, it's not out of nowhere. This is cut content that they repackage and resold back to you, because it's fucking Nintendo. And it was available just yesterday, immediately upon its announcement, which I have been told has been a very disappointing piece of DLC. That is not worth its price. It comes as a shock to Nintendo fans that Nintendo repackaged cut content to them, but to me, it's not surprising at all. Then came my favorite part of the night. Hypocrisy from Pokémon Company yet again. In spite of the various lawsuits, in spite of their attempt to patent every gameplay mechanic under the sun so that they can sue Pal World for daring to be just as popular and beloved as them, they go ahead and they basically copy Dragon Quest Builders, but Pokemon version. That's right. See, it's okay for Nintendo to copy everyone else. It's okay for Nintendo to be uncreative. It's perfectly fine for Pokemon to mimic what others do and use the exact same gameplay format that they never invented. It's a goddamn miracle Mojang never patented this gameplay formula, because if they did, then maybe Nintendo would be on the receiving end of what they do to everybody on a daily basis. But instead, I guess Nintendo, knowing that they're untouchable and they can be hypocrites, is releasing this piece of shit. The shamelessness of it, though, that's what really irks me. Because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, aren't you in the middle of a lawsuit because another company made a game with gameplay mechanics you think you created and owned? And now you're using other creators' gameplay mechanics that you didn't make so shamelessly? Fuck you. You could take this cheap ass knockoff and shove it up Typhlosion's ass. And then Nintendo does the predictable. They show you Pokemon Legends ZA again. Like, we haven't seen enough of this, and believe me, I don't want to see more of it, because the more I see it, the more shit it gets. This game looks like complete ass. The fact that it's all locked to one city, there's no wild areas, open world, planes to explore, is just such a boneheaded decision that is against the Pokemon formula, and I don't understand it. But here's the real twist. You see, they gave Raichu a really gay-looking Mega Evolution. I know that might excite some of you. You know, they're Raichu fans, surprisingly, out there. Well, what was once considered post-game content is now called DLC. That's right, this Mega Evolution Raichu, this is paid DLC. Pokemon and Nintendo are advertising to you paid DLC before the game launches. That is just diabolical. I swear to God, some former Ubisoft or EA CEO got hired by Nintendo because, oh my God, the levels of greed here are insane. You are actively promoting and telling people, yeah, this could have been in the base game that we're already overcharging you for, but fork over the extra cash. Oh, wait, but that's not all. The greed with Pokemon gets even worse. You see, because Mega Stones in the game are locked behind ranked season matches online. Okay, Frit, so what does that mean? What that means is basically you can't get them unless you pay for Switch Online. They are monetizing the shit out of you with Pokemon. And then they are playing victim in court, trying to take down their competitor Pal World, who is continuously adding content to their game at no extra fee, whilst Nintendo is actively removing content from their games, dangling it above you, asking for more money. This is insane. Nintendo's greed is an all-time high. These guys don't give a single shit. They know you too well. You'll buy all of this. And then when the next Pokemon game releases with even less content, and basic things like Pokeballs are locked behind a paywall, guess who's to blame? your ass in a way that effectively means Pokemon is sort of pay to win. Before I even get into a bigger rant about all of this, I think I should just save that for a video. So you'll have to make do with me just teasing you with my tip. Anyways, the rest of the direct was ass. All right, we saw Danganronpa, Dynasty Warriors Origins, Monster Hunter Stories 3, Resident Evil, and then that was it. What a horrendous event. What a waste of time. Had there not been as many remakes and remasters and re-releases here, this at most would have been a 10-minute long event, which honestly, I don't think would have been bad. Hell, it would have been better if they just released it as a video. No need for a live audience reaction because everybody was roasting Nintendo in the chat. Makes sense why they always disable it until the last minute. Nothing shown here today gives me incentive or reason to buy a Switch 2. As a matter of fact, makes me hate the device even more. When I built my gaming PC, that's all I ever had to do. I didn't have to continuously keep handing any company money to keep it relevant or justify its existence. People have to slide their credit cards more on the Nintendo Switch 2 than they have to scroll across their screen for games. It is a money-making machine. The people who buy into it are heavily invested, and it explains why they soy out like RGT85 did. But it really does feel like we're two completely different people. Like, I watched something completely different from him. I'm not the type of guy whose eyes light up when I see something to buy. He is. He likes adding to his collection like a lot of other Nintendo guys. But I'm not here for novelty items to put on my shelf. I'm here for games. And I was not impressed in the slightest. There's no way in hell I would drop the money for this device to play that. Total fucking waste of my time. I give it a 4 out of 10. If Fire Emblem wasn't there, it'd be a 2 out of 10. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.
Fritongo sucks ass.